It's a new year and a new season and a new look for this West Allegheny and Fox Chapel team here at Fox Chapel High School. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first edition of the 2017 West Allegheny Sports Network broadcast. I'm Brennan Rossai, joined alongside my partner Joe Smelter. And Joe, what are the keys to the game for both teams? First off, we're going to start with Fox Chapel.
We're starting with the Fox Chapel Foxes. Key number one is time of possession. West Allegheny's offense has long been known for running the football and keeping the ball for a long period of time. Fox Chapel will need to limit that. Once West Allegheny's running attack gets going, it's hard to stop. And if Fox Chapel doesn't keep the statistics for time of possession to at least a respectable number by the end of the game, they're going to have a hard time. Key number two for Fox Chapel will be the first quarter. Fox Chapel, this is a new season. It's the most anticipated season they've had in quite some time. First quarter is going to be when the adrenaline is at its highest. And if Fox Chapel is not able to jump on this West Allegheny's football team in the first quarter, they're probably going to have a hard time for the last 45 minutes. And the final key will be more than one-dimensional. Thanks to Nick Gizzo and Michael Morris, two fine runners for Fox Chapel. They're going to be known primarily as a run-first team throughout this season. However, they're going to need to throw the football a little more to be a little more than one-dimensional. I know Fox Chapel's coaching staff believes that quarterback Nick Gizzo can throw the football. And if they're able to throw the ball, if Gizzo can throw for around 140 yards like he did in Week 0 against Mount Lebanon, that will give West Allegheny and Brian Cornell's defense a little more to think about. For West Allegheny, key number one is going to be ground and pound. As I mentioned earlier, they're known for running the football. Last year was a little different with guys like Brandon Lifford and Kenny White as big-time playmakers. They're not here anymore, so West Allegheny with a new quarterback is going to have to rely on running the football. Key number two, shake off the jitters. West Allegheny, it's the first game of the season. They have a lot of new starters, a lot of players graduating last year, so it's reasonable to expect them to struggle at least at the beginning, maybe 2 or 3 sloppy possessions. But these young players can just forget about that and keep playing their game. Good things will happen. And the final key for West Allegheny is going to be to stop, not necessarily stop, because it's going to be hard to stop both Nick Gizzo and Micah Morris of Fox Chapel, but to at least limit them to where one or both of them does not explode and have a big game, because Fox Chapel's offense runs through those two guys. So if West Allegheny can limit Fox Chapel's running game, their defense will have a much greater chance of success.
That's a key that you pointed out, a very good point as well. Everyone wants to key in on Micah Morris, the 6'2", 243-pound running back who rushed for 1,300 yards last season, number 10 in the WPIAL. However, Nick Gizzo, he really is the bread and butter of this Fox Chapel offense. But we're going to step aside for just a few short minutes, kickoff just a few moments away, right here on the West Allegheny Sports Network. Kickoff moments away here on the West Allegheny Sports Network. The coin toss about to commence. The Indians win the toss, and they will go on defense to start the game. So West Allegheny kicking off. The captains meeting at midfield. The West Allegheny captains, Will Weber, Noah Ledford, Anthony Delavade, and Colby Stout, who is converted from number 9 to number 22. And he will also handle the kicking duties, as number 22 has handled the kicking duties for the past several years here at West Allegheny. And for Fox Chapel, the captains, Micah Morris, Luke Brown, and Nick Gizzo, looking to get this game started on the right foot. Last year, this was a 23-0 game, and it was really a close game, especially at halftime. It was 9-0, and West State didn't even score a touchdown in that first half. they had to rely on DJ Upsatnik in order to get the points, and he has graduated and has moved on to Alderson Broadus. So this is going to be really interesting to see how this West Allegheny defense can hold up on the first possession of the season.
Yeah, and it's worth pointing out that in that opening contest that you just alluded to from last season, Nick Gizzo and Micah Morris were not starters at Fox Chapel yet. They did not take over until week 3, and it's a completely different look for both these teams because last year West Allegheny coming off a bit of a down year, maybe not as high expectations, but this year they're the defending Whitfield championships. Fox Chapel coming out that 5-game winning streak as well, so they'll have higher expectations. So it's a new season and a new set of expectations.
Colby Stout set to tee it off for West Allegheny. He was the backup kicker behind DJ Upsatnik for the past 3 seasons, including a sophomore year when DJ went down with an injury and was out until week 5. Colby handled most of the kicking duties, and he gets to start here today. And we're underway for the 2017 WPIAL football season. And Chase Villani will take it from the 13-yard line, sheds a tackle down the far sideline, and he's going to be wrestled out of bounds right inside the 35-yard line. He'll be ruled down at the 34, and that's where the Foxes will take over their first possession, first down and 10.
Decent starting field position for Fox Chapel, and it will be intriguing to see where their offense will go for the first few plays of this game. Are they going to stick to their bread and butter, which is running the ball, or are they going to try to catch West Allegheny's inexperienced secondary off guard with a few passes?
Fox Chapel starting offense looks like this. Starting quarterback Nick Gizzo, followed by his tailback, which will be his sidecar, Micah Morris. The wide receivers, Drew Witt, Cole Waxer, Jacob Weck, tight end, Luke Brown, and Adam Doley. As Villani goes in motion, it'll be a pitch to Villani going from left to right, tries to reverse his field, and he is going to cut up the middle of the field and get back to the line of scrimmage. So a decent play there for West Allegheny's defense, able to contain Villani on the first play of the game, but it's second down and 10.
Interesting that they didn't give the ball to Micah Morris on that first play. They gave it to Villani instead, but now Fox Chapel wasting no time trying to speed this along to wear this West Allegheny defense down.
Second down and 10, ball at the Fox Chapel 34-yard line, and the handoff goes to Micah Morris right up the middle, and he runs into a wall of West Allegheny Indians. The ball may have squirted loose, but it was ruled down before a fumble recovery could be made, and now it's third down and 9, and third down really is something that they struggled with last week against Mount Lebanon. They converted 3 out of 13 third downs last week, 23%. So Fox Chapel, if they want to hang with West Allegheny, has to convert these third downs, and here they are with the first pivotal possession, but a pre-snap penalty comes in as Micah Morris gets the handoff, and he is met immediately in the backfield by Mateo Vandamia. And we're going to see what the flag is. I believe it's going to be an illegal motion on Fox Chapel, but nonetheless, it'll either be third down and 14 or a fourth down and about 10 coming up for Fox Chapel.
Yeah, as I said in my keys, it's important for Fox Chapel to get on West Allegheny early.
As the penalty is declined by West Allegheny, so it'll be fourth down and 10 coming up for Fox Chapel. West stays defense holding strong, limiting Fox Chapel to a 3-and-out. And here comes the punting unit for Fox Chapel. On the punt for the Foxes is Ray Tarassi, the senior, the 6'2", 211-pound senior kicker, and also plays quarterback, but Nick Gizzo will handle the quarterback duties for Fox Chapel. He's standing at his own 20-yard line. Going back deep is Noah Ledford for West Allegheny. He's standing at the 35. Punt is off, and Noah Ledford will wave his hand. Fair catch is signaled, runs away from it, and Jeffrey's punt, or excuse me, Tarassi's punt is going to roll down to the 25-yard line, and that's where West Allegheny will start, first down and 10. The West Allegheny offense looks like this. The starting quarterback is going to be a toss-up between Jamie Diven and Cameron Cruz, but Jamie Diven was taking first-team snaps for the last couple of scrimmages against Mount Lebanon and Trinity. The running backs, Will Weber, Ty Gallant, and Dante Flatty are going to see some action. At fullback, Anthony Totkus. The wide receivers, Noah Ledford, Brock Downing, Jake Davis, Isaiah Crow, and Colby Stout. The tight ends are going to be Mateo Vandamia and Brent Mangold. The offensive line from left to right, Anthony Delavade, Logan Rosseye, Zach Hogue, Bryce Manley, and Sebastian Ricketts. Wildcat formation to start for West Allegheny. Will Weber takes it and runs along the right side, and he's going to be met by a host of Foxes at the 26-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 9 after both defenses really playing strong here in the opening moments of the game.
Yeah, West Allegheny's offense, inexperience, really kind of going back to that Wildcat that they didn't use as much last year, but they've used it for a number of years. It was the installation of Coach Mark Davis about a decade ago, and you're seeing a different look as Jamie Diven will get his first snap as varsity starting quarterback.
Diven in the shotgun. Will Weber dots the I. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Diven, screen pass to the right to Noah Ledford, and he tightropes the sideline before being driven out of bounds on the play, making the stop Corey Simmons for Fox Chapel, and it's going to be 3rd down and 5 from the 30-yard line on the right hash.
Yeah, and that's a lot of the type of plays you're going to see from West Allegheny. Last year, they were known for bigger plays of 25-plus yards, but this year they're going to be known for wearing the defense down, 4 or 5-yard gains, and keeping the ball for a long period of time, and Fox Chapel's going to have to limit that.
West Allegheny last year, 56% on 3rd down. They went 74 and 132. And here they are set with their first 3rd down of the season. Jamie Diven drops back. And a long bomb to the right-hand side. And flags are going to fly as Corey Simmons was all over Isaiah Crow, the 6'6 receiver going up against the 5'9 cornerback. A definite size misadvantage for Corey Simmons, and he had nothing to do. He had nothing else he could do except try to make a play, and it ended up being a pass interference call. Already 2 penalties against the Foxes in a scoreless game in the first quarter. 8:48 remaining in the first frame here from Fox Chapel High School. And the Indians convert their first first down of the season technically. And Will Weber goes back in the Wildcat formation. Fullback Anthony Talkis is a sidecar. Weber takes a direct snap, spins his way forward, and he's going to be spun down, looks like by Micah Morris. And we're going to get another flag on the play as Will Weber and Micah Morris look like we're getting tangled up there, and Weber falling backwards, and this is going to be an interesting call here by the refereeing crew. As a matter of fact, the referee, Tom Trilly, the umpire, Tyler Shutterly, line judge, Dan O'Toole, as the personal foul is on Fox Chapel, and it's a 15-yard penalty. First down coming up for West Allegheny yet again. Head linesman is Kurt Shutterly, field judge is Connor Shutterly, and the side judge, Travis Snyder. Interesting fact, Tyler Shutterly and Connor Shutterly are Kurt Shutterly's children. So, a family affair in the refereeing crew, at least. But nonetheless, first down and 10 coming up for West Allegheny from the Fox Chapel 41-yard line. And Weber again is in the Wildcat formation. Weber, direct snap, runs into a wall, and he'll be driven backward at about the 38-yard line where the forward progress was stopped, and it'll be 2nd down and about 7.
Yeah, Weber getting a lot of runs early on. He has big shoes to fill as starting running back Kenny White last year has moved on to Pine Richland High School. But Weber started to come on towards the end of last season, got a lot of carries, especially in the Whippeal title win against McKeesport when White went down with an injury in the 3rd quarter. But he's going to be the man as far as running the football goes, and it's up for him to step up.
Weber last year was extremely effective on the screen passes, especially during playoff time, really coming on in the Woodland Hills playoff game. But he's going to handle the running duties, and if West Allegheny wants any success, he needs to be able to run the ball effectively as Weber runs right up the middle, and he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line once again by a host of Fox Chapel Foxes. It'll be 3rd down and 4, and as you were alluding to in the keys to the game, Joe, West Allegheny is going to be a ground-and-pound team. It looks like they're wearing the Fox Chapel defense out. It's going to be interesting to see if the Foxes can hold on 3rd down and 4. But West Allegheny's offense, they're pounding the rock down Fox Chapel's throat, and we're going to have to see what Fox Chapel's defense is really made of.
Yeah, it's really going to be about endurance. As I said, what Fox Chapel has to contain them in the first quarter, because when the game goes on and they get a little tired, it's only going to get tougher from here.
3rd down and 4. Jamie Diven comes in at quarterback, and he fakes the handoff, rolls right. Swing pass to Mateo Van Damia. He's got the first down, bounces off a tackle, and he gets inside of the 30-yard line all the way down to the 26. West Allegheny converts its third down of the game, and it's 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line.
Yeah, Mateo Vandamia, one of the few returning starters from last season. He is a physical specimen, 6'1", over 230 pounds. As you see there, his toughness and his strength, he is physically advanced for his age, and he's going to be really a handful for any tackler to handle.
Not only that, he's probably the strongest kid on the team, and he's only a junior.
Oh, yes.
If it's not him, it's either Logan Ross or Anthony Delavade. And Mateo plays receiver and tight end. They spread him all around the field. But Divin, screen pass. Will Weber has a room. And he falls forward where he's going to be caught from behind there by the defensive lineman, Scott Hastings, coming up defensive end position, making the stop at the 20-yard line. And it's 2nd down and 4. West Allegheny's now 20 yards away from pay dirt.
And that's what you were talking about a few moments ago, Brandon, with Will Weber being used on that screen pass. Throwing the screen is going to be a little more difficult as Connor Johnson is no longer with the team, and he was also used on that screen. But the screen pass is an essential play in football, and for a team like West Allegheny, it's going to be used extensively this season.
Divin stays out, is in the shotgun. Will Weber in the backfield, dotting the I. And the handoff will go to Will Weber, and he shakes and bakes down on the past the right tackle, and he gets down to the 30-yard line. It's a 1st down and 10 coming up for West Allegheny. The Indians now inside of the 20-yard line in the red zone. They had a red zone average of 550. At 50 attempts, they scored 275 points. 275 divided by 50 is 550. And now it's 1st down and 10 from the 13-yard line. West Allegheny, one of the leaders last year in the Allegheny 9 in red zone average. And we'll see what they can do here as West Allegheny quick to get on the line, and Will Weber is in the Wildcat formation. Sends Mateo Vandamia in motion. Weber off the right side, and he's going to be caught from behind. Hastings again comes up from his defensive end position to make the stop. It's 2nd down, and we're going to call it 7.
Yeah, I don't want to speak too soon, but those jitters that we were talking about in the keys of the game, they don't look to be on display. West Allegheny had a great defensive possession, and now they're doing exactly what they want to do on offense, running the ball really down Fox Chapel's throat.
That's something that we talked about earlier, even before we got to the game. You know, we were saying that West Allegheny's inexperienced. They could be nervous, but they don't seem to show it at all, as it's 2nd and 6 from the 10-yard line of Fox Chapel. And Dante Flatty off right side, and Flatty is in for the West Allegheny touchdown. And Dante Flatty, his first varsity carry, at least starting with the varsity team, he makes the most of it and puts West Allegheny on the board first. It's 6-0 with 4:35 to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, how's that for a first carry of the season? Dante Flatty, first carry of the game, hadn't been used at all on this possession, and all of a sudden at the 10-yard line, they give it to him, and the offensive line makes it happen, and he's in for a pretty easy touchdown, and West Allegheny's rolling.
Extra point attempt, Colby Stout on to attempt the PAT. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and it splits the uprights, and with 4:35 to play in the first quarter. It's West Allegheny 7 and Fox Chapel 0. And as we talked about earlier, West Allegheny is a team that's going to pound the ball down your throat. They're not going to be the flashy offense that they were last year, at least in the second half of the season. And you saw display there a very long drive, scoring a touchdown, a 75-yard drive, as a matter of fact. And really, it wasn't the big play that West Allegheny got. It was more or less just a 5-6 yard runs that really wore down the Fox Chapel defense.
Yeah, and that's what it's going to have to be likely for West Allegheny's offense if they want to score a lot of points. This is not unfamiliar for them. If you go back to guys like Mike Caputo and Armand Delavade and Chase Dillon, they've been known to run the football and keep the ball for 5-6 minutes at a time, and you saw that on full display in their first possession of the game. And Fox Chapel has to step up because as West Allegheny continues to run the ball, they're only going to get more tired from here on out.
We're at Jamesburg Stadium at Fox Chapel High School. West Allegheny up 7-0 over Fox Chapel. Colby Stout to do the kicking duties for the Indians. Back deep to receive, Sam Brown and Cole Waxter. Sam Brown, the younger brother of Captain Luke Brown and recent Fox Chapel graduate Jack Brown, who's now at Penn State. And it's going to be taken there by the Fox Chapel return man, heading up the middle and getting stuffed by a tribe of Indians just as he crosses the 20-yard line. And the Foxes will start 1st and 10 from its own 23-yard line. On the return there for Fox Chapel was Mo Mahina. the 5'8", 152-pound senior for the Fox Chapel.
And we'll see what Nick Gizzo can do here. He wasn't used very much either passing or running on the first possession. They want him to throw the ball more this season than he did last season, and we'll just see what he can do, see if his arm's on display, and see if his bread and butter, which is his running ability, is on display as well in the second possession of the game for Fox Chapel.
Gizzo in the shotgun. Morris the sidecar to his left. Gizzo's going to throw. Left side, and it's going to be picked off on the deflection by Noah Ledford. And Ledford inside the 10 to the 5. And he's into the end zone for the West Allegheny touchdown. What a turn of events for the Indians. Picked off, deflected off of a couple West Allegheny defenders. Noah Ledford ultimately picks it off and runs about 17 yards into the end zone for the touchdown.
17 runs for 17 yards. Noah Ledford, another one of those new starters. And like with Dante Flatty, you just saw a moment ago, really making a big statement on their first game as starters for the West Allegheny Indians.
West Allegheny scores 13 points in 15 seconds. Colby Stout on to attempt the extra point to make it 14-0 if he converts. The holder is going to be Jake Davis and the long snapper Zach Hogue. Kick is up by Colby Stout, drifting right, and it's going to hit the right upright. No good. And really there you see that West Allegheny is going to have to move on from DJ Upsatnik. Colby Stout missing the extra point. Really, that's just the first week jitters. You're going to see that be corrected in the coming weeks, but Colby Stout is just going to move on from that extra point.
Yeah, Colby Stout, really almost impossible act to follow with DJ Upsetnik, one of the greatest kickers not only in West Allegheny history, but in Pennsylvania football history. Colby got DJ's number. He's very familiar with West Allegheny's program as a senior, and his brother Christian graduated in 2015. His brother Connor is also with the team as a sophomore. Connor played soccer last year and is playing football this year. Maybe will succeed Colby at kicking as well, but that's what I was talking about earlier in the free keys with the jitters. Colby Stout, next time he's kicking, whether it be a field goal or an extra point, he just has to put that miss behind him and keep that confidence going.
He'll come out and kick off for the West State Indians, who scored twice in 15 seconds off a 10-yard run by Dante Flatty and I believe it was 25-yard interception return by Noah Ledford, not 17 yards. Back deep, Mo Mahina and Cole Waxter for Fox Chapel. Colby Stout's kick drifting to the 11-yard line, taken by Mahina, and Mahina makes a few and tries to outrun the kick coverage, and he's going to put up on the play right as he crosses the 30-yard line. A nice return there by the senior, and Fox Chapel's offense has got good field position to start its third possession.
Yeah, and that's going to be big. Fox Chapel, that's their second and three kickoff returns, so they've been able to get respectable field position, and their celebrated offense has not moved the ball really at all against this West Allegheny defense. So the closer they start to the end zone, the better it's going to be for them because their offense is struggling to get anything going right now.
See what they can do here. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Gizzo back out a quarterback. Morris dots the I. And the give is to Morris straight up the middle. And he'll fall forward to the 35-yard line where he's met by a tribe of Indians. Leading the charge was Tyler Gallant, the first-year starter and really JV superstar for the past couple of seasons. And it's 2nd down and 9. Fox Chapel will do the no huddle. Gizzo stays out at quarterback. Luke Brown in at tight end. Right behind his right tackle is Scott Hastings. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And the handoff again goes to Morris. Morris crosses the line of scrimmage, and that's pretty much all he's going to get. Brought down from behind by Will Weber, and it's 3rd down, and it's called a long 7.
Yeah, Fox Chapel trying to run the football, but it's just not working at the moment. They have an inexperienced offensive line, only 2 starters from last season returning, and their offense just has to move the ball, and it's 3rd and 7 right now. Have to convert this for a 1st down.
Let's see how the Fox Chapel offense responds on this 3rd down and 8. 3 receivers in a jumbo formation to the right, but it's a read option to the quarterback, Gizzo, and he falls forward to the 45-yard line, converts the first down for the Foxes as he pretty much just found a hole between the left guard and the center and exposed it and got the first down for Fox Chapel. It's first down and 10 from the Fox 44-yard line. Gizzo again will line up in the shotgun. Micah Morris about 3 yards behind him. And the handoff to Morris, and he's met in the backfield by Mateo Vandamia. Vandamia came unblocked off the left side of the defensive line, and that's going to lose. The forward progress is stopped a yard behind the line of scrimmage. It's second down and 11.
Tight end, wide receiver, defensive line, he can do it all. Vandamia is just a fantastic athlete, and as Kenny White, Brandon Lifford, Nick Ross are all gone, he's going to be, even though he did get a lot of playing time last year, he's going to be one of the people that's going to have their talents more on display this season.
3 receivers to the right, no one to the left as Gizzo's in the shotgun again. Gizzo tries the hard count to no avail. He gets the call in from the offensive coordinator, and we're going to retry the second down. Morris to the sidecar to the left, and Gizzo runs left. Gizzo finds a hole, and he's going to be undercut. Dante Flatty comes up from his corner position. Vandamia also in on the stop, and he's going to make up for some lost yardage. It's third down, and looks like about 7 from the 47.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Fox Chapel decides to do. Last 3rd and 7 they ran it for a first down with Nick Gizzo and converted. So will Gizzo try to exploit this inexperienced West A secondary, or will he try to run the football again, or will Micah Morris try to run the football for a first down?
About a minute 20 left in the first. West A is up 13-0 over the Foxes. Gizzo has all the time in the world, throws to the right side, complete to Cole Waxter. Facing pressure by Isaiah Crow and slips and falls at the line of scrimmage. And it's fourth down, and we're going to call it 8 from the 47-yard line. And really, if you're Tom Loughran, it's decision time. Do you risk giving up good field position to West A, or you just go forward on fourth down and see what happens? And it looks like the offense is going to stay out onto the field. Gizzo in a quarterback in the shotgun. And we have some movement on the right side of the line. Jesse Cohen and Mateo Vandamia scuffling. West A is going to indicate it's a false start, and here comes the call. And it's a false start on the left tackle, Jesse Cohen, and that puts Fox Chapel out of reasonable converting range, and Tom Loughran's going to send out the punt team. Andrew Jeffrey comes in the punt. Braden Thomas normally is the punter for Fox Chapel. He's out with an injury. He suffered a leg injury last week against Mount Lebanon. And West State's going to send in the house, and we get whistles before. It looks like Jeffrey's knee was down. Correction, that's Tarasi. Tarasi's knee was down to the 28-yard line. A big mistake there by the Fox Chapel punter, Tarasi, and West Allegheny gets even better field position than it even hoped for.
Yeah, that's everything going wrong for Fox Chapel. To beat West Allegheny, if you're coming in as an underdog in any game, you're going to have to play very smart, keep the mistakes at a minimum. But they've had several penalties early on, and you saw there with that little mishap on the punt. West Allegheny with great starting field position, and nothing is going right for the Foxes here in this first quarter.
We talk about the jitters getting to West Allegheny. The jitters may be getting to Fox Chapel
right
at this point, as Weber is in the Wildcat formation. Talkis to the left. Direct snap. Weber to the left side. Morris nearly brings him down, but Weber slips through a tackle and gets driven out of bounds by Luke Brown, Chase Villani, and Jacob Wecht. Correction, that's Drew Witt on the stop. And the ball is going to be placed at the 26-yard line. It'll be second down and 8 coming up for the Indians.
That's what I love about Will Weber. He's not going to amaze anybody with his physical talent or shiftiness the way Kenny White did, but he is tough, and you see there he's dragging a few tacklers, just doing anything he can to get that extra yard, and that's what makes him the great asset as the starting running back, potential great asset for this West Allegheny football team.
Last year, Weber rushed for 463 yards, caught 17 passes for 209 yards, and Weber is going to get another carry here. Slips through the defense, slips through another tackle, down to the 10-yard line. And he's going to be caught from behind by Jacob Wex inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. And it's 1st and goal for West Allegheny. And this Indian team is rolling right now. And really, this is not what anyone was expecting here in the opening stages of the game.
And you got to love what West Allegheny's line is doing as well. As with last season, they've really lost everybody from that starting offensive line, as guys like Matt Holmes, Joe Glusman are gone, and now guys like Logan Rossi and Anthony Delevator are having to step up. But you saw with the Dante Flatty touchdown open up a hole, and with that last Will Weber run, they opened up a big hole as well. So you have to be impressed with the offensive line here in this early going.
First quarter comes to a close. Everything going West Allegheny's way so far. It leads 13-0 over Fox Chapel. And really, this West Allegheny team, I think the expectations were that they were going to do well. I don't think anyone was expecting them to do this well, especially against a team that's supposed to be as good as Fox Chapel is hyped up to be.
Yeah, and this is, in the early stages, this is reminiscent of 2014, my junior year of high school, when they traveled to Newcastle for week 1. It was a similar story. There were a lot of people graduating from the previous season, didn't really know how things were going to be, at least at the outset, but they took it to Newcastle in the first quarter and never looked back. And unless Fox Chapel changes something, it could be going down that path as well.
Absolutely, and that West Allegheny team, they had a very strong season, and really if Jordan Whitehead in Central Valley wasn't in the way that season, West Allegheny could have been competing for a state championship. I believe that team was that good.
I do too.
But we fast forward 3 years later, that was this senior class's freshman year, which first off, where's the time gone in terms of that?
Yeah.
But now we start the second quarter. West Allegheny is knocking on the door yet again. First and goal, from the Fox Chapel 9-yard line. Direct snap, Ty Gallant up the middle, and he's going to be undercut by the Shadyside Academy transfer Chase Villani, coming up from his linebacker position, and Luke Brown also gets in on the stop. Gain of maybe 1 or 2, and it's 2nd down and goal.
Yeah, Ty Gallant, formerly a quarterback for West Allegheny, started some JV games 2 years ago in 2015, moved to running back the last season, and it will be interesting to see how he can do in backing up Will Weber, because with any football team, you have to have depth, and Gallant is that second back behind Weber, and he's going to need to pick him up whenever Weber needs to blow.
2nd and goal from the 8. Mateo Vandamia in motion from left to right. Weber, direct snap, and the pass, complete, into the end zone, touchdown West Allegheny. Brent Mangold on the touchdown reception, and West Allegheny goes up 19-0 over Fox Chapel 48 seconds into the second quarter.
That's reminiscent of a play we saw in the Harrisburg State semifinal game last season at Altoona. It was a pass from Kenny White to Mateo Vandamia, a jump pass to score a touchdown, and Mark Davis calls a similar type of play again, and it works for West Allegheny.
And West Allegheny with the extra point attempt. Colby Stout on to attempt it. And the kick is good, and West Allegheny's up 20-0 over the Fox Chapel Foxes. Just 48 seconds into the second quarter, and this Indian team dominating Fox Chapel in the opening stages of the game.
Yeah, West Allegheny is just on a roll. Everything going right. We did not expect them to get off to this fast a start. Even though they are the favorites, they are the defending Whitfield champions. Still expected this young team to struggle at least temporarily at the outset, but that has not happened. Everything is going right, and here they lead 20-0, and it looks like the snowball is just keeping rolling downhill for this West Allegheny football team. A great sight to see.
If we get some screaming and yelling going on the broadcast, we apologize in advance. The Fox Chapel student section's overflowing to our section. There wasn't enough room in the press box to accommodate the both of us, and we're actually sitting out on the top row of the bleachers here on the home stands of Fox Chapel. As Colby Stout getting set to kick off here for West Allegheny. Back deep, Mo Mahuna and Cole Waxter. Colby Stout, nice kick, taken by Mahuna at the 7-yard line. And Mahuna lose Paul Fedorka, or excuse me, that's Kyle Merritt, but he gets down to about the 21-yard line where he's going to be brought down by Nate Vislowski and Logan Scheider. And that'll set up a 1st down and 10 for Fox Chapel at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, and Fox Chapel needs to play like it's 0-0 right now. This is a start that nobody expected. They're in this deep a hole this early in the game, but all Fox Chapel can do with Nick Gizzo leading the offense is just forget about it, with a clean slate, play like it's 0-0, and see if they can put a dent in this lead.
Fox Chapel's offense comes out. It struggled in the opening quarter. See what they can do in the second quarter. Gizzo out in the shotgun, Morris in the backfield. As Micah Morris runs along the left side, he's tripped up on the play by Nate Vislowski, and he'll be brought down at the 23-yard line. Call it a gain of 1, 2nd down and 9.
And so far, West Allegheny doing an excellent job of not only containing Gizzo and Morris, but really making them non-factors, and that's a big reason that Fox Chapel's offense has not been able to get anything done in this first quarter plus.
West Allegheny's defense making some shifts as Gizzo back to pass. One-handed interception by Will Weber. And he dives into the end zone for the touchdown. What a pick there by Will Weber, reading the screen beautifully. And the Indians are up by 4 scores over Fox Chapel.
Wow, Will Weber getting it done on both sides of the ball. Second pick six West Allegheny's had in this football game, and it just keeps pouring on. West Allegheny about to go up by 4 touchdowns, and Fox Chapel just shell-shocked right now.
Absolutely, is West Allegheny really pouring it on here in the opening moments of the game. No one was expecting this, especially with the hype coming into the season around Fox Chapel. As Colby Stout on to attempt his 4th extra point. And we have movement on the left side of the West Allegheny front. Flags come in from the referee on the far sideline. And we're going to get a conclave amongst the officials. The call is false start against West Allegheny. The extra point gets moved back to the 8-yard line. And West Allegheny will attempt the extra point 5 yards behind from where they originally had it. But really, what I'm really impressed with for this West Allegheny team is the defense.
Absolutely.
The defense has really come on. The offense, they're chipping away at Fox Chapel, getting the 5, 6, 7-yard gains that are really adding up. But the defense, 2 takeaways, 2 touchdowns as the kick is up, and it's good to make it 27-0, 10:26 remaining in the first half. But as I was saying, 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns by West Allegheny, and really they only limited Fox Chapel to just 1 first down within a quarter and about 1:30 in the second.
Yeah, West Allegheny's defense, a tough act to follow, as last season's defensive unit is arguably the best one in school history, or at least the best one defensive coordinator Brian Cornell has ever had. The only negative that I can think of is that they're going to be on the field so much because of the defensive touchdowns and the quick turnaround. So we're going to see if West Allegheny's defense can keep their stamina up, because everything is going right at the moment.
Fox Chapel's kick return team out on the field, and the Foxes are reeling right now. At least Joe and I were not expecting to come in and see this 27-0 game with 10:26 to play here in the first half.
Yeah.
This is Fox Chapel shell-shocked right now.
We were not expecting Colby Stout to be this busy either.
Absolutely, especially in the opening minutes of the game. Colby Stout on to kick it off. Waxter, Mahina back deep. This time Waxter goes to the left, Mahina to the right. And they kick it off, and Mahina is going to pick it up on the bounce from the 16-yard line. Has an avenue and runs out of real estate down to the 31-yard line. And that's where Fox Chapel takes over yet again. But let's see if Fox Chapel can do something with the ball. They've been unsuccessful in their previous attempts. Their last drive ended in a pick six, a one-handed interception return for a touchdown by Will Weber on the attempted screen pass to Micah Morris.
Yeah, and as we talked about before the game, Coach Tom Walker and Fox Chapel want to get Nick Gizzo's arm more involved. They know he can throw the football if they're able to give him that opportunity, and so far he is not making the most out of that opportunity. And as I said with the last possession, they just need to wipe it off, play like it's 0-0, and see if they can chip away at this lead.
That's really all you can do, and you don't want to say you're playing for pride at this point, but Fox Chapel's got to get something going here as the game is slipping on getting away as Micah Morris goes up the middle. He's strung up by Will Weber, falls forward to the 33, and it's 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, Will Weber is just running all over the place right now on offense and defense. You see him with the pick six, wastes no time on the next offensive play, makes that tackle as well. So he has been, along with Mr. Mateo Vandamia, really Mr. Everything for West Allegheny.
Weber has offers to go to Navy, Army, and Cornell, and by the end of the season, he should have some more as Gizzo splits the defense down to the 45, spins his way forward, and he's going to be brought down. Kyle Guilfoyle making the stop, 48-yard line, and it's another 1st down for Fox Chapel. And really a similar situation to last week where Micah Morris hasn't really got anything going. It's been Nick Gizzo who's been doing most of the heavy lifting for this Fox Chapel offense.
Yeah, Gizzo, I agree with you that he is the most important player, and he's been the focal point thus far.
1st and 10, Fox Chapel just outside of West State territory. Morris runs up the middle, and he gets hit initially by Logan Rossai and is able to back up about midfield where he eventually falls backward, and it's 2nd down and 8 right at the midfield stripe, basically just at the middle of the field, right on the Fox Chapel logo. 2nd and 8, a little over 9 minutes left to go in the first half. Gizzo on the read option. He falls forward to the 45. And it's another 3rd down opportunity for Fox Chapel. Let's see if they can convert as he's brought down by Nathan Bislowski.
Yeah, this Fox Chapel offense, which, believe it or not, in the second half of the season led the Allegheny 9 conference in scoring. They've had a horror start thus far, but now they're getting something going, moving the ball, and let's see if they can just wear West Allegheny out on this drive.
Watch out for the fade route to Cole Waxter, but broken play. Gizzo tries to do something with it, but he will get the 1st down for Fox Chapel. Really just a missed opportunity for West defense. The defender was right there to wrap up Nick Gizzo, but Gizzo was able to shake a move off of him and pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, good job by Gizzo improvising. He's doing a solid job of moving the ball with his feet on this possession. He improvised a broken play. Nothing really there, but he made something happen, and Fox Chapel wasting no time getting back out there.
Gizzo, direct snap, left side. Vandamia makes the initial hit, and he's going to be brought down for a huge loss by Anthony Delavade. Colby Stout indicated that the ball came loose, but it looked like the play was blown dead regardless, and now it's 2nd and 12, 44.
Anthony Delavade, brother of Armand Delavade, who graduated from West Allegheny in 2015 and now is a key member of Youngstown State under Bo Pelini. Delavade, living up to his family name, has an offer to Duquesne University and is also playing offensive tackle.
And also, not to forget, Youngstown State is another one of the schools that have offered Delavade as well.
Right.
As Gizzo, back to pass. Looking left, and it's dumped off to Cole Waxter. Waxter sheds off a tackle, loses the ball, and it's going to roll out of bounds. Kyle Guilfoyle makes the hit, jarring the ball loose, getting down to the 30-yard line, and it will be a 1st down for Fox Chapel.
Yeah, Cole Waxter, Fox Chapel's leading returning receiver from last season. Didn't really do a whole lot against Mount Lebanon in week 0, although he did have a 40-yard touchdown reception. He hasn't been a factor tonight either, but he'll be a huge part of this offense if they want to have success.
Gizzo on the keep on the left side, gets a good block from Jesse Cohen, and he runs out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Fox Chapel having its most successful drive thus far. It's now inside the 20-yard line to the 19.
Yeah, Jesse Cohen, really maybe Fox Chapel's premier offensive lineman, throws a big block there, and Fox Chapel finally is getting something going on offense.
Gizzo in the shotgun. Hands off, Morris. Morris is undercut by Will Weber again, and Weber has been everywhere offensively and defensively. And it's going to be 2nd down and 8 for the Foxes.
Yeah, Will Weber finally being recognized this season as one of the key members of West Allegheny's football team. And he's really playing like he has something to prove tonight.
Absolutely, and really this whole West Allegheny team has something to prove. As last year they had a lot of key contributors on the team that are no longer here. And really this West State team coming out with a rocket basically coming out of them, and there's a timeout called on the field. West Allegheny pretty much just attacking Fox Chapel from the moment this game started, and really Fox Chapel has got to come up with an answer here, and they're in prime position to do so.
Yeah, finally some cracks showing in West Allegheny's defense, but they've been impressive, and you wouldn't think that this is a team that's losing 2 Division I players in Kieran Fairman at Colorado State and Matt Holmes at Duquesne, as well as several other key contributors, guys like Joe Divin, Joe Glusman, and, of course, Kenny White, who has transferred to Pine Richland. This is a lot of new starters, your brother Logan being one of them, and they do not look like they've lost a step from last season's Whitfield Championship team.
Yeah, this West Allegheny team definitely doesn't look like it lost a step at all. It came out and has put the pedal to the metal, and now it's just a matter of can West Allegheny cover up the cracks that it showed here on this drive that Fox Chapel's gone on. That started really from the 30-yard line, and it's now inside the West State 20. Morris from motion from left to right, and they'll try to swing pass, and Morris spins away from some tacklers and gets down to the 15-yard line. And it's going to be 3rd down and 5 for Fox Chapel.
And West Allegheny doing a good job of limiting that short pass. You saw a few moments ago, Will Weber picked off that screen pass and ran in for a touchdown, and they limit just a 4-yard gain on that swing pass as well. So eliminating that screen is going to be big for West Allegheny as this game moves forward.
Gizzo looks to pass, fade to the end zone for Drew Witt, and incomplete, but there's a flag thrown. It's going to be pass interference on the cornerback, covering up Drew Witt in the corner of the end zone. It'll be an automatic 1st down for Fox Chapel.
Yeah, that's really the first mental mistake West Allegheny has made today, as Colby Stout on the coverage really didn't have a choice as Wecht was open. But another break for Fox Chapel, and finally things are starting to go their way, and we'll see if they can at least score once against this West Allegheny defense before the first half draws to a close, and just keep things going as there's 6:05 left in the second quarter going into halftime.
It's a half distance to the goal. Fox Chapel has a 1st and goal from the 7. The Fox is knocking at the door, down 27-0 with a little over 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Gizzo has been pretty much the lone contributor offensively for Fox Chapel as he takes a direct snap, an option play. He's going to keep it and fakes out the defense, and he's in. Touchdown for Fox Chapel. Nick Gizzo carrying the load for Fox Chapel, gets into the end zone from 7 yards out, and West Allegheny relinquishes its first points of the season.
Really an impressive drive for Nick Gizzo, not only because he led them down the field, but he did so when he had to be shell-shocked, throwing 2 interceptions returned from touchdowns. He led him on the field and led him down the field and finally culminated in a well-deserved touchdown, and Fox Chapel was on the board.
As you saw in the replay there, Gizzo really just faked out the entire West Allegheny defense as Andrew Jeffrey's kick is up, and he booms it through the uprights to make the score 27-7. West Allegheny's on top. But Fox Chapel now has a little bit of momentum. Let's see what they can do as it'll kick off to West Allegheny. But as I said on the replay, you could see that Gizzo, on the option play, he was going to fake to Morris, and the entire defense bit onto what Gizzo was trying to do, leaving a wide open lane on the right-hand side, and Gizzo able to take advantage and get in unscathed.
Yeah, as I said before, I'm impressed with Gizzo. He's found the rhythm on that last drive. And Fox Chapel's offense, even though they're down by 20, they can still make this a game as they are one of the better offenses in 5A. And West Allegheny better not get complacent, one, because their coaches hate complacency regardless of what the score ends up being, and two, obviously they want to win this football game, and Fox Chapel still has that comeback ability in them if West A is not careful.
Absolutely is. We'll get to see the West Allegheny kick return team for the first time this season. Back deep for the Indians. Will Weber and Dante Flatty back deep. And kicking off is Andrew Jeffrey. And Jeffrey's kick sky high, and it's not going to go very deep. It goes down to the 9-yard line where it's taken by Will Weber. And Weber nearly squeaks through a couple Foxes, but gets down to about the 23-yard line. And the Indians will start there 1st and 10 with 5:55 left to go in the first half.
And this is a big possession for West Allegheny. They do not want to give Fox Chapel any breathing room. I know the scoreboard says that they're still well in control of this football game, but they do not want to get complacent, and they want to take it to Fox Chapel on this possession right here to negate that last touchdown.
The West A offense hasn't been explosive, but been extremely effective, scoring twice off of very long drives led by Jamie Diven, who's in a quarterback in the shotgun. And Diven hands off. That's Dante Flatty on the left side. Flatty left down by a host of Foxes in the backfield. The referees will say that he got back to the line of scrimmage. And it looks like we have an injured Fox Chapel player down right on the far numbers in front of the West Allegheny sideline, and the trainer's out to attend to Fox Chapel's injured player that we do not have at this time, but we will get to you momentarily. But talking about Fox Chapel, it hasn't been all gloom and doom here for Fox Chapel. Last season, they started 0-4, losses to the top 4 teams in the Allegheny 9 in West Allegheny, Woodland Hills, North Hills, and Upper St. Clair. And whenever they got down 0-4, they pretty much exploded offensively and defensively. Micah Morris and Nick Gizza really came on. And speaking of Micah Morris, that was the injured player for Fox Chapel. It looks like he'll be okay, walking off with his own power. But it looks like he's unable to move his arm, but now it looks like he's getting some of that strength back. And let's see how Fox Chapel will respond, and let's see if the Foxes do get back out on the field offensively, if he'll be back in as the running back.
Yeah, and they do not want to lose Micah Morris. That does not look like anything serious, but still, never a good thing to see any sort of scare with a player of that caliber.
It looks like he's going to be okay. I mean, it doesn't look like he's phased too much, but if he were to go down, it'd be a devastating blow, as Braden Thomas is already out at linebacker. Morris was the backup to Thomas. He was thrusted into the starting role with Thomas going down to injury. But now it's 2nd and 10 from the 24-yard line. Diven back to pass. Slip screen down to the running back, Ty Gallant. He has a wide open lane on the far sideline, and he'll be brought down out of bounds at the 39-yard line. It's another first down for West Allegheny.
West Allegheny using that screen effectively, as Jamie Diven not throwing deep passes, but that screen is working well, whether it be Will Weber, Dante Flatty, or as you saw on that play, Tyler Gallant. Diven is doing a good job of not being rattled, throwing their short passes, and doing what he can do to move this West Allegheny football team down the field.
It's definitely one of the things that West Allegheny has done the best. They can execute the slip screen to perfection, not just to the running back, but to the receivers as well on the middle screen. But this is a run play going to Dante Flatty to the left side, turning on the Jets and picking up the first down. He's going to be brought down in Fox Chapel territory at the 49-yard line. Jacob Wecht makes the stop. And now it's 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line with 4:46 to go in the first half. Running clock now. The Indians up 27-7. Wow. Yeah.
Dante Flatty and Tyler Gallant are both a nice contrast to Will Weber. Weber is more of a smash-mouth runner. Flatty and Gallant both are more north-south. So there's a nice mix with this West Allegheny running game.
Divin with the snap, hands off. Flatty fumbles. Ball is still loose. And there's a scrum for the ball, and it looks like it's going to be recovered by Fox Chapel, and it is. Correction, no, it is not. It is West Allegheny football. The ref signaled the clock to stop, which would meant that it would be a turnover, but they ultimately decided that Flatty was able to jump on the ball. And the good news is they keep the ball. The bad news is they lose 4, 2nd and 14 from the 47-yard line.
And you're going to see some of those mistakes week one. It's only natural. West Allegheny doing a great job of not letting those jitters be an issue early on, but a play like that, even though it did not cost the Indians, is something that's going to have to be fixed as the season moves forward.
Divin in the shotgun. Flatty to his right as the sidecar. Divin, screen pass out to Flatty on the right side. Weaves his way through traffic and gets down to maybe the 48 where he picks up 1 yard, and it's 3rd down and 13 coming up for the Indians.
And this is what Fox Chapel wants. They want to get West Allegheny in these 3rd and long situations because, as we've been talking about all game, they are known for running the football and getting 5-6 yards at a time. But when they have to go 10 or more yards, it'll be a little interesting as Jamie Divin, first-year starter, does not have a lot of experience in any case for varsity, let alone throwing the football deep. So making West Allegheny gain a lot of yards at once is something that Fox Chapel is going to want to do.
3rd down coming up for West Allegheny. It's been pretty successful thus far in the game. On 3rd down, as Will Weber gets sent in motion as Bob Palco wants a timeout on the far sideline. That was originally called by offensive coordinator Mark Davis, who's right behind us in the press box right now. And it'll be 3rd down and 14, make that 13 coming up for West Allegheny. And as we alluded to several times, this offense is not going to be one that has that huge long play, but it's one that wears you out. And it got to Fox Chapel early, but with Fox Chapel going on that long drive, the defense looks like it's starting to settle in, and it's starting to sniff out what this West Allegheny offense can do.
Yeah, and they really haven't had the ball a whole lot, although they have scored 2 touchdowns thanks largely to the 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns by the defense. West Allegheny's offense has not been on the field for as long as we expected them to be. So we'll see as they start to kind of gain their leads later in this game what they can do when they're able to have more possessions and have the ball for longer than they have had the ball in this first half.
The offense breaks the huddle yet again. It's 3rd down and 13 from the West Allegheny 48-yard line. 2:39 to play in the first half. The Indians up 27-7 as Weber goes in motion. Divin all alone in the backfield. He looks to pass, has all sorts of time, throws to the left side, caught right at the first down marker by Noah Ledford, and he's going to be marked out of bounds 1 yard shy of the first down marker. It's 4th down and 1 from the Fox Chapel 40.
Yeah, and that is just great execution by the West Allegheny offensive line. As we mentioned before, they're losing several linemen, Kieran Fairman, Joe Glusman, and Matt Holmes being some of them. And it seems like every year West Allegheny graduates some linemen but just reloads. And that's on display today. And for a young quarterback like Jamie Divin to have that amount of time has to mean everything in the world.
Divin's really come along since his past 2 years here at West Allegheny. As he's in the shotgun correction. That's Will Weber in the Wildcat and falls forward. Nearly had a big gain, but luckily for the Indians, it's just a first down. As the ball is going to be marked right at the first down marker. It could be a turnover on downs, but instead it's going to be first down for West Allegheny. The ball was marked right at the first down sticks, maybe a half a yard above it. And now it's 1st and 10 from about the 38.5-yard line, we'll call it, with now 1:36 to play in the first half.
And now that they're kind of out of jail with that big gain on the 3rd and 13, they can get back to what they've been doing, what they're going to do probably all season, just ground and pound, wear down the defense, and run the football. Don't have to be flashy.
Weber, direct snap, but there's a flag before the snap could be taken. The whistle was blown late, pretty much as Weber took the snap and decided to run left. And it's going to be a false start against the offensive line of West Allegheny. And that'll back them up 5 yards to the 30, make that the 43-yard line. 1:20 to go in the first half. West A up 27-7 over Fox Chapel. Divin tries the hard count again and will get his play call in from the sideline. Divin, back to pass, 3-step drop. Throws over the middle, and it's going to be incomplete. There was contact, and a flag is drawn. Luke Hoover makes the hit. As soon as the ball hit the receiver, which was Noah Ledford, right down the middle of the field. And it's going to be an automatic first down for West Allegheny down to about the 28-yard line.
And again, this West Allegheny offensive line is showing no signs of being young. They've, again, gave Divin a lot of time on that play, and although he did not complete the pass, they were able to draw that penalty and get a first down. And the boys up front have really been impressing me in this first half.
As we're now down to under a minute left, clock now stopped after the incomplete pass, right at 58 seconds in the first half. The Indians up by 20. 2 receivers to each side for Jamie Divin, who's in the shotgun. Divin, quick pass, and it's going to be incomplete. Noah Ledford didn't turn around in time. Looked like he was trying to defend Luke Hoover from the pass, even though Ledford's assignment looked like was to turn around and catch the ball. But it's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, miscommunication there between Divin and Noah Ledford. They'll just have to shake that off. Ledford has been a go-to really in this entire football game. Have not seen a whole lot of Isaiah Crow, and it'll be interesting to see if the 6'6", number 18, will be a factor as this game moves forward.
He's lined up against Drew Witt, who gave up 225 yards to Aiden Kane from Mount Lebanon last week. Really been able to shut down whoever's been he's been locked up against, but this is a middle screen to Noah Ledford. He's hit hard by Luke Brown as he catches the football and crosses the 25-yard line. And it's now 3rd down and 7 from the 25-yard line. This is in field goal range for Colby Stott and or John McCardle, whoever Bob Palco decides to send out for the field goal unit if they can't go any further. And it's 3rd down as Fox Chapel looks like jumped off sides. Riley Michael, the nose tackle, just budging Zach Hogue, the center, on the play, and that's going to move West Allegheny up 5 yards to the 20. 23 ticks to talk in the first half. West Allegheny dominating the first 13 or 14 minutes of the game, and ever since then, it's really been a standstill by both teams. Fox Chapel went down on a nice long drive, scored off of the 7-yard run by Nick Gizzo. West Allegheny getting 2 offensive scores, one from Dante Flatty and another from Will Weber. Weber returning an interception for a touchdown, as did Noah Ledford in the first quarter. Divin looks to pass. Correction, that's Will Weber. Wide open, Mateo Vandamia. And Vandamia is into the end zone. Touchdown, West Allegheny. Weber to Vandamia. And Mateo Vandamia is really solidifying himself as one of the best athletes in the entire class of 2019 with an impressive performance thus far.
He really is, and that's another play call by Mark Davis that he has used extensively in the past 2 years, is to line up in that wildcat but throw the defense off by having the running back throw the football. And Vandamia is usually on the receiving end of those types of plays, and they usually work. And as you said, Vandamia making a huge statement here at the beginning of his junior season.
Colby sat on to attempt the extra point out of the hold of West Allegheny's Jake Davis, and the extra point is up and good to make the score 34-7. West Allegheny on top of Fox Chapel. But as you were saying about Mateo Vandamia, he already had a lot of hype coming in from last season. He had an integral part in the come-from-behind victory in the championship game versus McKeesport, catching a touchdown pass late, which helped propel the Indians to that come-from-behind victory in the fourth quarter. And Vandamia really has a knack for not just catching the ball with his huge hands, soft hands, but also getting a knack having a knack for getting open as well. As that play, the closest defender was maybe 10 yards away from him.
Yeah, I remember Mateo Vandamia's freshman year was my senior year at West Allegheny. And the first time I saw him, I could not believe that he was a freshman. He looks very advanced for his age, a true physical specimen. And he has 2 touchdowns. While it is impressive, it really isn't surprising to me, given this man's physical stature and what he is capable of as an athlete.
I'm expecting Van Damien to get a number of Division I offers by the end of the season.
Absolutely.
Whether it be FBS or FCS is to be determined, but either way, he certainly is a Division I product. As Stouts will do the squib kick down to the 35. It slips through a Fox Chapel Fox that is covered up there by the up man at the 30-yard line. And Fox Chapel is going to have the option of running a play or two or just taking a knee and going into halftime with a 27-point deficit. There's 14 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah, just nothing going Fox Chapel's way. And to make matters worse, West Allegheny will start the second half with the football. So all Fox Chapel can do, head coach Tom Walkern, very experienced, very sharp. He'll give them a talking to at halftime, and they just have to put this first half behind them, enter the second half of a blank slate, and see if they can make this at least somewhat of an interesting football game.
There is going to be a play run as it's given off to Chase Villani, the running back. And Villani powers his way forward down to the 34-yard line, the transfer from Shadyside Academy, also a hockey player. And that's going to end the first half. The score at halftime, West Allegheny, very impressive in the first 24 minutes of play, 34-7 over Fox Chapel. The really hyped-up Fox Chapel team has come out flat against this West Allegheny team who was expected to do well, but no one was expecting them to dominate really anyone, as this Allegheny non-conference is pretty much up for grabs for anyone.
Yeah, and it's hard to believe that this is maybe not a completely new team from last season, but there are a lot of new faces. West Allegheny just has not missed a beat, and it's similar to the start they had at Newcastle week 1, 2014. Just so much to be impressed about, and we'll see in the second half, hopefully some of their younger players will be able to get some time and build their resumes to impress the varsity coaches. And for Fox Chapel, as I said, just got to wipe the slate clean and go out, do what they can in the second half.
Absolutely. As we're now at halftime, as the West Allegheny band is out to take the field for halftime, so we're going to take a break for halftime. We'll be back in about 20 minutes on the West Allegheny Sports Network.
make sure nobody puts my foot. Or my half.
Good. Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Sounds good. Oh, perfect. Right. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. Sounds good, man.
That was the most.
Is it going for me?
There you think it's crop? Like I could have at least like covered it in something to make it look pretty. It's just PVC piping. I hope. No. Dylan! Show this, if this video has audio, show it to Dylan's side. So confused, like, who am I taking a picture of? I swear that one right there is him. Okay, ready? Look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows in. The middle one of the 3 people. I swear that is him. No. Go from the person on the stand. Yeah. Oh, it's like, you see that line of 3? Oh, they're moving! Dylan. I can't see him as well now. He's right at the 50 mark.
I wasn't really looking.
Feel his energy.
I can't.
Feel his finger movement. What is he?
I was lying. I can't
Can't
actually.
be like, this is thingy. I'm pretty sure it's a saxophone.
I think it's a saxophone too.
Yeah.
I know. I'm taking a. I am.
I'm pretty sure it was. I doubt it was a trumpet. I just don't see him playing a trumpet or whatever. I mean, probably, yeah.
I know Dylan better than that. And I just I feel like he plays the saxophone.
That's awesome thing. Okay, it's just like a square. Like a rectangle. No, that definitely was
When there's 2 minutes on the clock, we're going to you.
Are we doing any score the top 10 or anything, or are we just BSing?
Just talk.
Okay.
Doesn't look like light should, but I'm gonna turn it off anyways. Alright, if you want. Yep. Do we have to go for the figure out?
David's out there. David's out there.
It happened twice while I was down there. So, you want me to run down, or you want to trust that it's going to turn around? Then go outside. All the way out. You don't need to run. You got time.
I don't know.
You should ask around.
All right. You know what we're here for.
Which one of you are leaning over the top? Really?
Yeah.
I was like, get out of here. I didn't even get to snap.
Get back in.
Your children too. Just saying. Wait, no, wait, guys, wait. Actually, let's take it. Oh my god!
What?
Is the camera on us? We're back here at Fox Chapel High School. The West Allegheny Indians on top, 34-7 over the Fox Chapel Foxes. A little bit of a surprise that West Allegheny's up so big, but it's not all gloom and doom for Fox Chapel. We're going to talk about a little bit of some alumni for some people that may not know. Recent news out of Fox Chapel, recent graduate Carrington Vaughn just got a walk-on scholarship at the University of Arizona, so congratulations to him. And Joe, what are some other alum that came out of Fox Chapel?
Some other alum include Colin Dunlap, who is a Pittsburgh media personality, best known for his work on 93.7 The Fan as a morning host. We have Leo Wisniewski, part of the famous Wisniewski family at Penn State, as his son Stephen and his brother Steve, also standouts for the Nittany Lions and in the NFL. And Leo played in the NFL for 3 years with the Baltimore Colts. Perhaps most famously, Beth Ostrowski, who graduated from Fox Chapel and later became Beth Stern as she married maybe the most famous radio personality in America, certainly the wealthiest, in Howard Stern. So that are some Fox Chapel alumni. And one more is Adam Biznawadi, who graduated from the University of Pittsburgh last season and is now starting his first year with the New York Giants. So Fox Chapel's had some pretty significant people come through as far as sports goes.
And you said the University of Pittsburgh. As you can see behind us, the Fox Chapel student section has been getting into Sweet Caroline here at halftime. The halftime festivities are wrapping up. And the Fox Chapel student section, even though its team is down 34-7, you can see behind us, there's a lot of them behind us. You can probably hear most of them over top of us as we're calling the game right next to the student section as well. And they've been a lively bunch, especially for a team like Fox Chapel that hasn't had as much success in football as it would have liked, but it's had its most anticipated season in quite some time.
Yeah, and if you remember the last game West Allegheny played when we were at Altoona to announce them against Harrisburg, we were impressed by Harrisburg's student section, but then again, they're one of the top teams in the state of Pennsylvania. Fox Chapel, as you said, hasn't had a whole lot of success, and for them to get this turnout is really says something about their student body.
And also, that's also doing in part of the fact that they got one of the better coaches in the WPIAL in Tom Loughran. He spent 32 years over at South Park, won 2 WPIAL and state championships in 1997 and in 2005. Some of his staff is actually from South Park as well, including at one point he hired his quarterback from the 2005 state championship team, Connor Dixon, to coach the quarterbacks. He's no longer on the coaching staff, but Tom Loughran bringing that success from South Park that he's had for the past 32 years over to Fox Chapel. He's in his 3rd year here, and despite going 1-8 in his first season here, he's really turned things around here at Fox Chapel.
Yeah, absolutely. And an interesting storyline for Fox Chapel coming into this season for me is this is really becoming Tom Loughran's team in that he's developed most of these players. The first 2 years, a lot of holdover from the last regime, but these are players that Loughran has been coaching up for 3 years now, and his vision is starting to come into fruition, even if they did have a rough first half.
Absolutely. We're about to get started here at the second half. Fox Chapel has already taken the sideline. West Allegheny is about to break its huddle. The Indians are up 34-7 over Fox Chapel, and the Foxes were deemed for, or I should say, destined for a playoff run. Haven't played to that potential here today against West Allegheny. It struggled mightily, but it looks like Fox Chapel's coming out pretty fired up. It's looking to come back from a 27-point deficit here in the 3rd quarter. But the bad news is West Allegheny will take the ball on offense to start the second half after it had a dominating first half, especially in the first quarter. He had 2 defensive touchdowns. Will Weber putting on a show, scoring through the air, on the ground, and with a one-handed pick 6 in the first half.
Yeah, and one thing to think about with Fox Chapel's offense is, although coming back and winning the game might seem like a bit of a stretch, they have potential to score. And in that 5-game winning streak to end the last season that we alluded to, they outscored their opponents 216-40. And granted, that was against some lesser competition, but it really shows that this offense can put some points on the board at any time. And West Allegheny's defense needs to just keep their foot on the pedal and not give them any room for error.
Absolutely, and in that 5-game stretch last season, Fox Chapel, as you said, did not play a team that qualified for the playoffs, defeating Chartiers Valley, Moon, amongst others, teams such as Hampton, Baldwin, and Plum, as the kickoff gets underway by kicker Andrew Jeffrey, taken at the 9-yard line by Will Weber, and he has a hole on the right-hand side before being brought down from behind by Adam Doley at the 26-yard line, and it'll be a 1st and 10 from there for the Indians to start the second half.
As first possession will be key for West Allegheny. A lot of the first teams still out there. They're looking to stick to the game plan, even though they're up by a lot more than maybe they expected to be up. They still want to ground and pound and hopefully get one more touchdown before maybe starting to put some of the second string in.
27-point lead for West Allegheny. Jamie Diven leads his offense out onto the field. He's in the shotgun as he sends Noah Ledford in motion from left to right, as he will fake the handoff, rolling to the left, look for the screen, and he just overshoots Mateo Van Damia over his head, and it's 2nd down and 10. And on that throw there to Mateo Van Damia, it was really, I don't want to say it was on point because it was over his head, but Diven got the ball in the vicinity. It was just the fact that it was a little too tall for Van Damia to handle.
Yeah, and Diven showing that ability, as Nick Ross showed quite often in his 2 years as West Allegheny starter, to make the throw on the rollout. West Allegheny loved to use that bootleg play. In fact, that's what won them the Whitfield Championship on that 2-point conversion, and they're seeing some more of that here.
2nd down and 10 from the 26-yard line. Now Totkis in motion, going into his fullback position. Handoff, Ty Gallant going to the left-hand side, keeping steady, and he is going to be brought down at about the 28-yard line, make that the 27. That's a 1-yard pickup for the first-year starter, and it's 3rd down and 9. Tyler Gallant probably could be the most underrated player on this team. He's been the JV superstar for the past couple of seasons, and he's destined for a breakout season here in his senior campaign. I won't be surprised if Tyler Gallant is in one of the top, is going to be all conference at running back or at linebacker by season's end. 3rd and 9 coming up for West Allegheny. Ball at its own 27-yard line. Jamie Diven drops back to pass. 3-step drop over the middle, and what a catch by Mateo Van Damia. Did he hold on to the ball? No, he did not. It was a fumble, and it's recovered by Fox Chapel. So Fox Chapel getting the break that it needed to start the second half. Now has the ball at the West Allegheny 38-yard line in the first minute and 4 seconds of play in the second half.
Yeah, what looked like a decent yardage gain for West Allegheny turned out to be an interception, as Van Damia, the physical specimen that he is, had the ball, got it ripped out of his hands, and now Fox Chapel with a decent start to the second half, great field position, and we'll see if they can at least make this a respectable football game.
Gizzo leads his offense out of the field. Micah Morris is not in the backfield as the running back. Gizzo all alone as he's in shotgun. Screen pass to Waxter, and he is crunched by pretty much the entire defensive line. Delavade, Mangold, and Rossi in on the stop, pretty much hammering Waxter at the line of scrimmage, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, West Allegheny again snuffing out that short pass, as to where West Allegheny offense has had great success on the screen pass. Their defense has limited the screen pass, and that takes away an aspect of Fox Chapel's offense. And as you said there, Rossi, Delavade, Mangold, that defensive line loves to work in tandem, as they always have under Brian Cornell.
Gizzo back to pass over the middle, and we're going to get a pass interference call on West Allegheny. Weber hit Waxter before the ball was even in Waxter's grasp. It was too tall for the 5'7" receiver, but Weber did make contact before the ball went anywhere near him, and it's going to be an automatic 1st down for Fox Chapel.
Yeah, in high school football, unlike college and the NFL, there's no such thing as an uncatchable ball. So regardless of where the ball is, if you interfere with a receiver in any form, you're going to get called for a penalty, and that's what just happened with Will Weber.
And that's the second pass interference call against West Allegheny, the first happening in the corner of the end zone where Nick Gizzo punched it in from 7 yards out to put Fox Chapel on the board. The only points that it has to show for the Foxes. And now Fox Chapel is sat at the 23-yard line. Gizzo is in at shotgun. Chase Villani in the backfield. Gizzo keeps it up the middle, and he's going to be stuffed on the play. Anthony Delavade, Brent Mangold on the stop. Mangold coming up from his defensive end position. He could also have a breakout year, too. Really, all of these first-year starters could have breakout years. This West Allegheny team, as I said before, they don't rebuild, they reload, and it certainly shows here tonight. 2nd and 10 from the 23-yard line. Micah Morris not in the game for Fox Chapel. He's on the sideline. He is dressed, but he is not going to come back in momentarily. Villani is in at the running back position. Gizzo back deep as he scrambles to the right side. And he's going to be strung out on the sideline by West Allegheny at the 22-yard line, making the stop for the Indians. Looks like was Nate Vislowski. And it's going to be 3rd down for Fox Chapel with 9:40 to play, in the third quarter.
Yeah, Nate Vislowski, another one of those new players that's going to get a lot of time. Also plays baseball for Brian Cornell, and a lot of Indians have a chance to prove themselves here in these first 2 free games.
Gizzo is strung out, rolling to his right, throws to the end zone, and it is swatted away. Is it caught? No, it is not. Nice defensive play there by defensive back Noah Ledford. Nearly caught there by the receiver in the corner of the end zone, but Ledford was just able to get the ball out of bounds and was not caught by the receiver. It's going to be 4th down and 10 for Fox Chapel.
It's a great play by Ledford. Great play by Nick Gizzo, too. Did not have any pass protection. Had 3 Indians running at him at once. It almost turned that into a touchdown. So now Fox Chapel really with no choice but to go for it on 4th down.
They're not going to bring the field goal unit out to attempt what would be a 40-yard field goal, but instead they're going to try for all the marbles. 4th down and 10 from the 23-yard line. As Gizzo takes the snap, throws, fade route to the end zone. It is caught. No flags thrown. It's a turnover on downs, and West Allegheny dodges a bullet after giving up the fumble to Fox Chapel, and the Foxes can't do anything with the possession, and it's West Allegheny ball from the 23-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, great protection by the Fox Chapel offensive line. It was really similar to a play in the first half where they went to Colby South's side in that left corner of the end zone. South got called for pass interference on that play. Did not get called for this one, although I'm sure Fox Chapel would have liked to have that call, but instead, big stop for West Allegheny, and they'll again look to pound the ball.
So the Indians take over. Has been very methodical in its approach against Fox Chapel. As Dante Flatty with a direct snap up the middle, runs up a hole, and will push the Fox Chapel defense back 2 yards to the 25-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8 from the 25. Something else I'm noticing is that Mateo Van Dame is getting a little bit into it, as you saw at the end of that last play with a Fox Chapel defender. It was getting a little chippy. Luckily, it didn't escalate any further, but
yeah, and those things cannot happen no matter what the score is. When players lose their heads, I don't know if there's anything that Coach Bob Palco hates more. So no matter what's going on in the game, you have to keep a level head.
2nd down and 8 as Will Weber goes in motion, and we have some people jumping both offensively and defensively. Let's see what the referee crew will decide about that. Made by head referee Tom Trilly, and it's a full start on the left side of the offensive line by West Allegheny, pushing them back to the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 13.
Yeah, it's the second false start called on this West Allegheny line. Had one earlier in the first half, but for the most part, the line has done a fine job, especially considering their inexperience and that this is their first game as really a unit, as all new starters on this line.
Divin in the shotgun. Takis as the sidecar. Weber dots the I. A receiver split out to each side as Weber goes in motion to the right-hand side. Screen pass goes to the fullback, Takis. And Takis, the meatball, gets down past the 20-yard line. If you don't know what the meatball nickname is, it was a nickname started last year by senior Mike Clarkin, who was his other meatball. He's now graduated and moved on to other things past West Allegheny, and Takis carrying the meatball tradition. Was going to wear 34, but decided to stick to 44 for this year. That was his number last year, and it's going to be third down, and we'll call it 12 from the 21.
Yeah, 44, also the number worn by West State great Sean Orsini, who is now starting at St. Francis as a linebacker.
Divin all alone in the backfield. 5 receivers set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Divin. He's going to scramble, try to get out of traffic, and he's going to be sacked at the 18-yard line. And it's going to be fourth down and a long way to go, 15 yards for West Allegheny. They're going to bring out the punt team.
Want to give a quick shout-out to all of our viewers, really, but one that contacted me about our broadcast was Justin Baker. Baker, center for West Allegheny from 2013 through 15, now playing football at Duquesne University, who played South Dakota State last night. So, Justin Baker, we thank you for turning in.
Colby Stout, standing at his 5-yard line, gets the punt away. Going back deep is Gizzo. And the punt is going to take a West Allegheny roll. Now goes backwards to the 39-yard line, a 20 net yard punt. And Fox Chapel takes over from the Indian 39-yard line, first down and 10. And as you mentioned, viewers from all around West Allegheny, both current students and past alumni. Someone else who contacted me earlier, Megan Downing, Shay Downing's older sister. She's now all the way down in Florida Gulf Coast. So thanks for watching all the way down from Florida. Checking out her younger brother, Shay, who's a junior here at West Allegheny, football and baseball player. Fox Chapel's offense takes the field. Gizzo in the shotgun. And he'll hand off to Villani. Villani barreling forward down to the 36-yard line. He'll pick up about 3 yards, or he's brought down by a tribe led by Anthony Delavate and Sebastian Ricketts. It's second down.
Yeah, aside from Nick Gizzo, the Fox Chapel running game has not gotten anything done against this West Allegheny defensive line. They haven't allowed any big plays, and Micah Morris in particular has been bottled up.
Broken play. Gizzo bounces to the left-hand side, and he's going to be caught for a loss. Nate Vislowski and Dante Flatty in on the stop. And that's going to push the Foxes back to the 37-yard line, which will make it third down and 8.
We only have 1 touchdown.
Fox Chapel trying to get something going offensively. It's down 34-7 to West Allegheny with 5:20 to go in the third quarter. Gizzo is in the shotgun. He'll roll out to his right, looking to throw. And he throws deep to the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown. Cole Waxter with the touchdown reception, and Fox Chapel slowly cutting into this lead with a 37-yard pass from Nick Gizzo to Cole Waxter.
And that's a great ball from Nick Gizzo, similar to the touchdown he threw to Waxer in the Mount Lebanon game in week 0. He does have a good arm. He maybe doesn't uncork it as much, but as we alluded to before, Coach Tom Walker wants him to utilize that arm this season, and that is a beautiful ball by Nick Gizzo.
Andrew Jeffrey on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and he booms the second extra point of the day. And Fox Chapel's now down 34-14 to West Allegheny. The Indians coming up a little bit off compared to what it was able to accomplish in the first half. Fox Chapel has certainly won the third quarter thus far, but there's 5 minutes and 9 seconds to play in the third frame. West Allegheny has plenty of time to add to this lead, but Fox Chapel also has time to make this a game again as well.
Absolutely. Fox Chapel has really came on ever since falling behind 27-0. They've outscored the Indians 14-7 since then. it's hard to bottle up this offense forever. I know West A did shut out the Foxes last season, but that was really before Fox Chapel knew what they had, before Gizzo became the quarterback, before Morris became the starting running back. So Fox Chapel is a good offensive football team, and they're really showing that starting towards the end of the second quarter and carrying into the second half.
Yeah, the starting quarterback for that game was Dimitri Spina, who's now over at Grove City. Starting running back was Luke Brown, who has now moved to tight end. And Micah Morris only got 4 carries in that game. That was in garbage time. But this is a little pooch kick that is taken at the 20 by Will Weber. Weber going up the middle of the field, and he's brought down at the 32-yard line. A 12-yard kick return for the senior for West Allegheny, and it's first down and 10 from the 32.
Yeah, last year West Allegheny was known for their special teams prowess. Not only could they score at any moment on offense, they could do it on special teams as well. Kenny White and especially Brandon Lipford, excellent returnmen, and we don't know who's going to step up to be the returnman this year, but it's evident thus far West Allegheny hasn't gotten a lot of big plays from their special teams.
But again, they have plenty of room to grow, as the offense didn't really come on last season until the second half of the year, as this is direct snap taken by Will Weber, and he's brought down on the outside of the far numbers by Jacob Wecht at the 40-yard line. That's an 8-yard pickup by Weber, and it's second down, and we'll call it a short 2. Fox Chapel scoring 14 points. West Allegheny scoring 34. The Foxes got a 7-yard touchdown by Nick Gizzo and a 37-yard touchdown pass from Gizzo to junior wide receiver Cole Waxter, a similar play to how they scored last week against Mount Lebanon in the third quarter of that game. Gizzo finishing that game with 145 yards, going 5 for 9 with a touchdown. Weber weaves through traffic, and there's a flag that flies down to the 44-yard line. Weber goes, and we're going to find out what the flag is. Tentatively, it's a first down, but I have a feeling this one's going to get called back. And a West Allegheny Indian is slow to get up. That's Spencer Mason. That is kneeling right now at the 45-yard line. And Bob Palco is going to come out to attend to him as we speak. Spencer Mason, his older brother Skyler, is a track and field star over at the Naval Academy. His father, Rick, is the middle school head football coach, as well as Bob Palco tends to him. Bob Palco, in his 23rd year here at West Allegheny, got his 200th win last season with the 47-20 victory in the state playoffs against Meadville. And Bob Palco, before he came in to West Allegheny, the Indians were nowhere near the juggernaut that they're known to be now. And ever since Palco has come in, he's only missed the playoffs 3 times, and 2 of those times were his first 2 seasons. The first season he made the playoffs, he won the Whitfield Championship. So that really is a testament to how successful Palco has been here as the head coach of West Allegheny, and is going to go down as one of, if not the greatest West Allegheny coach in program history, not just in football, but in athletics.
No question about it. Similar to what George Novak did at Woodland Hills for all those years, to what Jack McCurry did at North Hills, Jim Render at Ever St. Clair, Jim Hamilton at Blackhawk. All of those guys built their programs in the powerhouses, and Palco has done that at West Allegheny for the past 23 years. Only 3 losing seasons in that time span, 8 Whitfield titles, one of the most respected coaches in the state of Pennsylvania.
Divin leads his offense back out. It has a second down and 10. There was a holding call against West Allegheny. And Divin's going to send his receiver in motion from left to right. That's Noah Letford. Divin rolls out, now looks backward, overthrows his intended receiver, Will Weber, as Divin basically looks like he was rushing to get that ball out of his hands and into the hands of Will Weber and just overshot him there. It's third down.
Yeah, a bit of an erratic throw by Jamie Divin, but it's expected. It is his first game, and overall, I think he's done a pretty solid job. He hasn't made a lot of big plays, similar to what Andrew Kester was like in 2012, but I think as time develops more, there's plenty of upside with Jamie Divin, and he has potential to really be something for this West Allegheny team.
We'll see where this season takes him, as his team is leading 34-14 with 3:47 to play in the third quarter. Divins' pass is out of the reach of Noah Ledford on the far sideline. That'll make it 4th down and 10, and West Allegheny's offense really hasn't been able to get anything going here in this second half. It's come out and really hasn't been able to do anything at all, and a turnover forced, and West Allegheny goes 3 and out.
Yeah, they got the ball to start the second half, up 34-7. Thought maybe they could put the game away right there, but that hasn't been the case. Fox Chapel's defense starting to settle in, the offense starting to settle in, so West Allegheny can't get complacent, and they want to finish off this football game and get the young guys some playing time, if possible.
Stout in to punt the ball away. He's standing at the 18-yard line. Cole Waxner back deep. He's at his own 35. And it's going to be a fake. No, Stout with the rugby-style kick, getting it just by the line of scrimmage, and it takes a nice West Allegheny roll all the way down to about the 27-yard line. A very nice play there by Colby Stout, extending the punt all the way down to the line of scrimmage where he gets the ball away. And Stout's always been very good at getting the roll to go his way, and it does so again, rolling down to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, I've known Colby and the Stout family for several years, and I remember back to when he was in the 5th or 6th grade, he's always wanted to be a kicker, and with being behind DJ Obsednik for free, he hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities. Getting that opportunity tonight, and he's been quite busy, especially early in the game with several extra points and as long with kickoffs and punts. So it's an interesting debut for Colby Stout.
Colby Stout's had an interesting career over the past couple of seasons. This last year, he had 2 onside kick recoveries that were really instrumental in getting West Allegheny to come from behind against McKeesport. As the play goes to Chase Villani, he's brought down at the 28-yard line to make it 2nd down and 9. But as I was saying, Colby Stout comes from an athletic family with Christian over at Penn State. Now he's in their ROTC program. Carolyn also is at Penn State. Colby's younger brother, Connor, a sophomore, soccer player converted to football player. He was getting some kicking reps as well. Expect him to be the kicker in a couple of years' time. Nick Gizzo calls his own number, and he's going to be brought down to the line of scrimmage. Will Weber with the stop. And we're going to get a flag thrown on the near sideline. Correction, that's Luke Brown. He was on top of Mateo Vandamia, blocking Mateo down into the ground, and they were getting right into it. Brown was on top of Vandamia right until the whistle, and Vandamia, a little bit frustrated, just pushed Luke Brown off of him, and this could really go either way.
Yeah, and Vandamia was getting into not really a big scuffle, but a mini one early in the third quarter, and we talked about he's great. He's physically gifted. He's going to be a great asset to this West Allegheny team.
And it is a personal foul against Mateo Vandamia. You'll have plays like that where Mateo, in the past, he's known for having a little bit of a temper going back to his youth football days. And it comes out right there, which, Palco's not going to be pleased with that personal foul, but that's something that could very easily be fixed, as Vandamia is starting for the first time on defense. He was known as an offensive threat last season, being only the 2nd leading receiver, only behind Brandon Lipford. Vandamia was 2nd team all-conference at tight end, and really an impressive sophomore year. He's expected to have a breakout junior year if he didn't have his breakout year last season.
Yeah, and you've seen that already with those 2 touchdown catches, both on passes by Will Weber, and as well as you've seen some signs of growth on defense, which is new to him, as you just said. But Vandamia has a lot of physical skills, just has to keep that temper bottled up at times.
1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. Villani will split the defense, stays on his feet, and crosses over into Indian territory. He gets down to the 48-yard line. Gizzo's motioning for his offense to hurry up, trying to catch this West State defense napping, as it'll be 2nd and about 3 feet from the 48-yard line. Gizzo in the shotgun. Villani to his right. Hands off to Villani up the middle. And it's a 1st down coming up for Fox Chapel. Picked up by the bruising back Chase. filling in for Micah Morris, who was injured late in the second quarter. A big loss for Fox Chapel. But Villani's doing a pretty admirable job filling in place of Micah Morris, but it's a 1st and 10 from the West A 42-yard line. Gizzo thought the defensive lineman on the left side jumped off sides, but no call made, and he gets the call in from the sideline. 1:45 to play as he hands off to Chase Villani in the third quarter. Villani to the left side. He'll be brought down by, that's Isaac Longstreth making the stop at the 38-yard line. Longstreth expected to get some considerable varsity time in his junior season, the younger brother of Dustin and Emily Longstreth, and the cousins of Luke and Lexi Seifert, who graduated with you, Joe, in 2016.
Right.
2nd down and 6. Villani again finds a wide open lane. There's a flag down. Villani down to the 15 as he's bumped down by Isaiah Crow. And there's a flag down to the 35-yard line. I do think this is coming back, but Fox Chapel, even though the penalties are going on Fox Chapel, they're definitely showing that they can move the ball against this West Allegheny defense.
Yeah, and we talked about how they've improved offensively starting towards the end of the second quarter and carrying over into the second half. But on this possession, they're really starting to have success with traditional runs. We saw Nick Gizzo has been doing a lot with those option runs in the spread offense as expected. But finally, Villani's doing a great job filling in for Micah Morris, and Fox Chapel's finally starting to get stuff going with more traditional running plays.
And Nick Gizzo keeps it along the left side, and he's strung out by, this time, Logan Scheider. Scheider, a baseball player and a football player as well, gets the stop at the original line of scrimmage, making it 3rd down and 10. There's now under 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. West Allegheny's lead is 20 points, 34-14. After a dominating first half by the Indians, Fox Chapel has come back and made things a little bit interesting here in the second half. Let's see if Fox Chapel can score and make things a little bit more intriguing. 3rd down and 10. Gizzo back to pass. Throws the deep ball to Drew Witt over his head on the sideline. Even if he caught that, that would have been out of bounds regardless, and it's 4th down and 10.
Yeah, but again, Gizzo's showing off that arm strength. I know that ball went a little longer than he would have liked to go. He overthrew his man Wecht. But as alluded to before, Gizzo can throw the football. He had over 100 yards both running and passing in Week 0 against Mount Lebanon. And the goal is to make him more of a dual threat as the season goes on. And Fox Chapel, hopefully for them, competes for a playoff berth for the first time since 2002.
4th down and 10. Fox Chapel not electing to punt, but will instead go for it. Gizzo back to pass and throws the deep ball. Cole Waxer's open, and it's caught. Is he in bounds? No, he's not. It was extremely close. He caught the ball on the sideline, but the referee says he was out of bounds as he caught the ball. Let's take a look at the replay.
Yeah, regardless of what happens, great throw by Nick Gizzo, tremendous, and great effort by Waxer. Hard to tell from there whether he can get those 2 feet in. That's Wecht, excuse me. But the refs called. There's no replay in high school football, so the initial call will stand, and West Allegheny will take over on downs once again.
If that was a college football situation, I would believe Fox Chapel would like to challenge that.
Absolutely.
That was extremely close. His foot may have skidded in bounds while his other one was out of bounds, but too little too late. West Allegheny now has the ball. 4 seconds left in the third quarter. This will 99.9% be the last play of the third quarter as Ty Gallant goes up the middle, and he's suplexed on the play by Riley Michael. Michael, the all-conference center from last season, making a big defensive play to end the third quarter, and Fox Chapel really dominated that third quarter as it comes to a close. It now trails 34-14 in West Allegheny, and things are starting to get a little bit more interesting. The score is definitely not indicative of how close this game is starting to become.
And it's really interesting because this is going pretty much the opposite of how we expected it to go. Coming in we expected West Allegheny to struggle for the first part of the first quarter at least, if not a little deeper into the first half. But West State came out blazing, and now Fox Chapel, who we thought might get worn down in the second half, just the opposite, as they clearly outplayed West Allegheny in that third quarter. So while the scoreline is indicative of West Allegheny being favorites, the overall flow of the game has not been what we expected at all.
Absolutely. As taking a look at other scores around the WPIAL, specifically in the Allegheny 9, Woodland Hills dominating the Baldwin Highlanders as expected. 38-3 is the score there. Woodland Hills struggling last week, against the Gateway Gators, who are one of the top teams in all of 5A. Meanwhile, you have Baldwin, who is starting primarily freshmen and sophomores. I believe they only have 2 or 3 seniors that are starting for Baldwin this season. So they're in a little bit of a rebuilding mode over at Baldwin, and I'm expecting them to be competing for a playoff spot in the next few years. We return to live action. Ty Gallant goes up the middle, carrying the defense with them, trundles down to the 40-yard line. He picks up the first down for West Allegheny.
And that's what coaches love, just getting the extra yard. Every inch counts, not to be cliche, but you saw Kenny White there last year, and Delave Caputo, the running backs of the pass, love to lunge forward for that extra yard and taking whatever they can get. And you see Gallant do that on that last play, and that's part of what makes West Allegheny so successful year in and year out.
Not just the defense that plays lights out, but more or less the offense that wears the opposition down. And you're seeing it once again. Ty Gallant getting the carry again off right guard, and he gets down to the 36-yard line. That'll make it 2nd and 6 for the Indians.
Yeah, good offensive start for West Allegheny, as the offense has really been in a lull ever since the halftime whistle blew, but they've got good field position and running the ball as well as they've wanted to on this possession, and hopefully they can continue to trudge along and get a key score to really stop Fox Chapel's momentum.
Still no Micah Morris out on the field for Fox Chapel, as the Indians' offense is at the 36-yard line of Fox Chapel. And Ty Gallant spinning away from some tacklers to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and he's in. Ty Gallant into the end zone. West Allegheny trips and falls in the back of the end zone. He's probably going to get made fun of by his teammates after for falling in the corner of the end zone, but it's not going to matter, as West Allegheny's now up 40-14 here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Ty Gallant really showed his potential in that possession, and great job by the offensive line. Gallant had a huge hole to run through, and he did just that. Probably wouldn't have even been down if it was two-hand touch, and West Allegheny does just what their objective is and stops Fox Chapel's momentum and gets on the board again.
So West State's offense starting to get back into it, scoring off of the 36-yard touchdown run by Tyler Gallant. Colby Stout's extra points up and good. And now the score is West Allegheny 41 and Fox Chapel 14. 10 minutes and 34 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. As you see there, Tyler Gallant, don't ask him to do a tight rope act in the corner of the end zone. He trips and falls right on where the turf meets the track. But doesn't matter if he trips and falls in the back of the end zone. The fact of the matter is he was in the end zone. And West Allegheny's lead is back to 27 points. Not quite the mercy rule, but West Allegheny definitely putting on a show, excluding the third quarter.
Yeah, and your point about Ty Gallant being an underrated player to watch has really been on display in the second half. Haven't seen as much of Will Weber, although he's still playing both ways. But Gallant, again, a different runner from Will Weber. Gallant more of a north-south runner. Weber is an east-west runner, meaning Weber goes up the field while Gallant's a little more shifty. And, yeah, West Allegheny showing what they can do in that last possession and getting out of that lull that they've been in. They had been in for the whole third quarter.
Stout off to kick it away. Back deep, Cole Waxer and Mo Mahina. And it's taken by the up man for Fox Chapel, who pretty much just falls down on the 34-yard line. And that's where Fox Chapel will take over 1st and 10, down 41-14 with 10:33 to play in the fourth quarter. Fox Chapel's offense starting to find a little bit more of its rhythm. It had a nice pass play that was called incomplete on 4th down to Cole Waxter. Waxter showing off his big play ability, just the fact that it was unfortunate for him that the referee saw that he was out of bounds.
Yeah, and the good thing for Fox Chapel is even on the plays that aren't productive from a stats standpoint, they're having good things to see, as Gizzo had an unbelievable throw on that pass to Waxer. Waxer with a great effort, and maybe with replay, that could have been a touchdown.
Gizzo finds some room up the middle, and he's going to be tripped up by Nate Vislowski at the 40-yard line. We've been calling Vislowski's name a lot here in this second half. He's really one of those players that doesn't get the recognition he deserves. He's been a special teams force for the past couple of years at West Allegheny, finally getting some starting reps at inside linebacker for the Indians. Handoff, Chase Villani, and again, Nate Vislowski in on the stop. There was a late hit there by Luke Brown on Ty Gallant, no call made, and it's going to be close to the first down, but it's a yard shy. It's 3rd and 1.
Yeah, a big play for this West Allegheny defense. Brian Cornell is going to have a lot to say about this second half, especially compared to how they performed in the first half. So regardless of what the scoreboard is, the defense cannot get let up, or else they're going to hear about it a lot when they go in to watch film tomorrow morning.
Gizzo, direct snap, and he's going to be caught in the backfield. A big loss on the play. Mateo Vandamia in on the stop, and Vandamia, another one of the West Allegheny players that has really stepped up all over the field offensively and defensively and makes another big play. It's 4th down. And again, Fox Chapel, at this point, they're just going to let the offense stay out on the field. No need to punt the ball and give the ball right back to West Allegheny, even though, especially on a 4th down and 2, which is a very manageable 4th down and 2. But with the way this defense is playing, Fox Chapel needs to get something going, and Villani definitely does so. He splits the defense down to the 30, and he's caught from behind by Isaiah Crow, turning on the Jets to get Villani from behind, and Villani is really putting on a show, filling in for Micah Morris. He could be someone that could be an underrated threat for Fox Chapel.
Yeah, Fox Chapel's offensive line doing a great job as well as they're going no huddle.
Villani up the middle, barreling past some West Allegheny players, but the whistle was blown prematurely at the 23-yard line. He didn't go anywhere, but after the whistle was blown, but it's 2nd down and 8 at the 23.
Fox Chapel again making some noise.
The West Allegheny starters, or at least some of the starters, are returning onto the field for West A. Gizzo will get the call in from his sideline. Now in at running back for Fox Chapel is Brandon Stipetich. Gizzo left side, and he's going to be brought down at the 20-yard line. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and 6 from the 21-yard line as we have a whistle blown on the play. And we have Chase Villani, who is down on the Fox Chapel sideline. And that'd be another big blow for this Fox Chapel team. Morris went down with an injury, and now Villani is down with an injury. Fox Chapel needs to stay healthy, especially going into the 3-game stretch that is going with Woodland Hills next week, North Hills, and Upper St. Clair to begin the season. Gizzo, back to pass, rolling right, throws to the end zone, and it is swatted away by Ledford. The second time Noah Ledford's made a nice defensive play on Cole Waxter, and now we have a late flag. Correction, that's the ball being thrown back to the referee. Excuse me. My glasses obviously aren't doing me any favors right now, and it's 4th down and 6 from the 21.
Gotta love what Noah Ledford is doing in his first game as a starter, and now it looks like he is possibly cramping up as time is called.
Yeah, we haven't seen many cramps for either team, really. I don't see Villani out on the sideline, so it looks like he's going to be okay. I don't see him on the bench either. As Ledford, as you said, it looks like it's cramping up. Really the first cramp that we've seen. Villani is out in the huddle, so good news for Fox Chapel fans. Chase Villani is back in. Noah Ledford has really come on as a nice defensive addition. He was the starting safety last season. He had, I don't want to say he had a breakout season, but he had a good season. This year, he's made a lot of great plays for this West Allegheny defense, and with the losses of Kenny White in the secondary, Brandon Lipford, who was going to start a corner if he did decide to stay at West Allegheny, or at least were expected to start at corner. Ledford's really come on, and he's been one of the captains here at West Allegheny for the past couple of weeks, and it really shows with the way he's been playing out in the field.
Absolutely, and as I've said for several months now, where the loss of Kenny White is going to hurt West Allegheny the most. Not that he wasn't a great offensive player, but on defense, he is one of the top shutdown corners in the WPIAL, as he showed in Week 0 for Pine Richland. And for Ledford to come in, be assigned Fox Chapel's #1 receiver, and do the job he's done really is impressive.
4th and 4, no field goal unit out as Fox Chapel's at the 21. Gizzo getting chased by Wisłowski. He eludes the pressure and rolls out to his right. The pass is complete to Villani. It's a first down. Inside the 10-yard line, down to the 7-yard line. And Fox Chapel has a chance to get on the board yet again, trailing 41-14 with a little over 7 minutes to play in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, another great play by Gizzo. He didn't have a whole lot of time, eluded some rushers, thought he was going to run, but then decided to dump off that pass to Villani, as what's just missing a sack. And now with Fox Chapel, 1st and goal, in business again.
Gizzo, read option up the middle, splits the defense, and he's into the end zone. Nick Gizzo, his 3rd overall touchdown, 2nd rushing of the day. And Nick Gizzo, one of the lone bright spots for Fox Chapel, gets the Foxes to 20 points.
Yeah, and it's really impressive, especially considering Nick Gizzo's start to the game, throwing those 2 interceptions and having them both return for touchdowns. He's not been rattled, and he is carrying this Fox Chapel team in the second half.
Jeffrey on to attempt the extra point, nearly blocked by Isaiah Crow, who was charging on the right-hand side. Correction, that was freshman Paul Newton. But the kick is no good. It's wide of the uprights, and the score remains West Allegheny 41 and Fox Chapel 20. 6:51 to play in the game, and the Indians have a 3-touchdown lead, but in a first half where West Allegheny dominated from bell to bell, at least in the first half, it's kind of struggled against Fox Chapel in this second half. The Foxes have outscored them 14-7 in the second half, and ever since taking a 27-point lead, Fox Chapel's outscored them 20-14. So this inability to finish, it's not going to come back and bite West Allegheny in this game, but in future games, they got to learn how to finish, especially when you get to the meat of their schedule, such as a tough game next week against North Hills, and you also have Woodland Hills coming up, Upper St. Clair in Week 6, and Woodland Hills towards the end of the season.
Yeah, and it really says something about Fox Chapel, as when they fell behind 27-0, it would have been easy for that to be the knockout blow, as we've seen happen with teams, even teams as good as Upper St. Clair in the past few years. But they haven't let that happen, although it's still a long way to go to win this football game. This not giving up attitude is something to take, especially as they travel to the Wolf Arena next week to take on Woodland Hills.
Flatty down to the 7-yard line where he takes the kick, weaves through the kick coverage down to the 24-yard line, and West Allegheny will take over from there, 1st and 10. With 6:45 to play in the fourth quarter. Time is winding down here in Week 1. West Allegheny dominant in the first half, struggled in the second half against Fox Chapel. And West Allegheny more than likely is going to come away with the victory, at least by 21 with 6:45 to play in the fourth quarter. But stranger things have happened, as we've known in the past, with such as my sophomore year, your freshman year, coming back from 14 down with 40 seconds left against Blackhawk. the Whitfield Championship game last year against McKeesport, where West Allegheny was pretty much down and out, and it came back with a very strong fourth quarter and pretty much shocked McKeesport as it was winning all game. And we've seen instances where stranger things have happened. Do I think it's going to happen here? No. But if West Allegheny's inability to finish is a common trend, then the Indians are going to have a tough time repeating as Whitfield champions.
Yeah, and West Allegheny, whatever happens the rest of this game, there's going to be plenty of criticism from Brian Cornell in the film session tomorrow. Cornell, known very intense attitude, very strict, does not like to see mistakes. So obviously no coach likes to see a mistake, but he'll call you out on it, and it doesn't matter what the final score is. The defensive performance this second half, not to take anything away from what Fox Chapel has done, is the defensive performance has not been one that Brian Cornell would like to see, and it's got to be something to work on going forward.
Well, there's a lot of things really to work on in the future, not just with defensively, but offensively as well. There's always room for improvement, as I always say, as Will Weber goes up the middle, dragging the defense with him down to the 30-yard line. That's a 6-yard pickup and a very hard-earned 6 yards at that. And as I was mentioning before, West Allegheny has some things to take away, some things it did right and some things that it did wrong as well, and some things they'd like to clean up, especially with a team like North Hills coming to Joe P. DeMcCullough Stadium next week. North Hills, very impressive against Shaler, but again, Shaler not one of the top teams in the WPIAL. It has a tough task today against Upper St. Clair. Last I checked, it was tied at 7, so Upper St. Clair, one of the top teams, at least from the preseason. So you have that, and here has 2nd down and 4 here. Dante Flatty falling forward down to the sticks, getting close to the first down, and he's going to be marked down right at the marker. Going to depend on where they spot it, and it's going to be a half a yard shy of the first down. It's 3rd down and about the length of the football from the first.
Yeah, talking about the road ahead, North Hills, although they're nowhere near the level they were back when, say, LeVar Arrington was in school in the late 90s under Jack McCurry, but a historically great, used to be a quad A program, one of the giants of the Whitfield, and they're not to be taken lightly. They're very respected. They have a very respected reputation, and don't forget, they almost beat West Allegheny last season.
Yeah, one of the teams that gave West Allegheny a run for their money as Ty Gallant weaves through traffic, gets to the 40-yard line where it's a first down for the Indians. Clock stopped now at 5:09 to play in the game. West Allegheny is looking to milk the clock down and come away with Fox Chapel with a victory here, a by 21 points right now, looking to make it at least 27 if offensive coordinator Mark Davis gets his way at least. And it's 1st and 10 from the 40. Sure, we've only seen Wildcat here on this drive. Ty Gallant has carried the load for most of the way as he takes a direct snap. Goes up the middle, and he gets flipped down to the 47-yard line, maybe the 48, where it'll bring up 2nd down for West Allegheny.
Ty Gallant's performance in the second half is a perfect example of why when a game seems out of reach, that doesn't mean that there isn't anything to watch. It's an opportunity for Ty Gallant, who's not the starter, who's playing behind Bill Weber, to show what he can do as somebody who isn't as established on varsity at least, show what he can do in getting first-team reps, and he's certainly made the most of his opportunities in the second half.
Gallant again in the Wildcat formation, expect him to get the ball yet again. Same exact play goes to Ty Gallant. Correction, that looks like Dante Flatty getting the carry up along the left side. And he gets maybe 1 yard. It's 3rd and 1 from West Allegheny. West A's had a pretty good time on 3rd down, at least converting. Pretty successful on 3rd down, I should say. And a very manageable one coming up with 3rd down and 3 feet. But there's 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. West Allegheny's just looking to run the clock down and get out of here with a victory. 41-20 is the score. The Indians on top. Flatty Up the middle, he picks up the first down. There's a flag thrown right at the end, and this could be a holding call, but I don't want to speculate. Right as Flatty was falling down at the 47-yard line. The flag is on West Allegheny as the defensive lineman for Fox Chapel is going to have to come out for a play. That's Adam Wu, primarily a starter for Fox Chapel, at the right guard and the right defensive end positions. And West Allegheny gets pushed back to the original line of scrimmage. It's 3rd down and 10. Diven's going to come back in. Good situation here for Jamie Diven to get some throwing experience. West Allegheny on top by 21 points, and it's a 3rd down and 10. Passing situation potentially, but let's see what offensive coordinator Mark Davis has up his sleeve. And Diven with the draw to Flatty, and Flatty's going to be brought down in the backfield for a loss of 4. Nice play there by Chase Villani. And it's 3rd down, make that 4th down and 15.
And interesting, we have not seen Cam Cruz. In addition to Jamie Diven, Cam Cruz, who started on the junior varsity team for West Allegheny last season, thought since they both have contrasting styles, maybe we'd see a bit of a 2-quarterback system, at least at the outset. But we haven't seen that, and Jamie Diven has been the man all the way for this game.
It's interesting to see how that quarterback situation will progress. Diven and Cruz, both young quarterbacks that we're looking to get some playing time. But Stout's kick will take a Fox Chapel bounce on a West Allegheny roll down to the 39-yard line. There's a flag down on the near sideline at about the 44-yard line of West Allegheny. Exactly 2 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. I guess you could say we're at the 2-minute warning. The Indians are firmly in control of this game, 41-20 the score. The penalty, I should say, is on Fox Chapel. And it will be a 10-yard penalty from where the ball was down. So it's 1st and 10 coming up.
Yeah, as mentioned before, overall this game, while the result is not necessarily surprising, the overall flow of the game is West Allegheny throughout the years known to be a team that comes on in the second half. To borrow from Penn State head football coach James Franklin, it is a second-half football team, but it hasn't been the case today. They came into the 3rd quarter leading 34-7 and have been outscored 13-7 the rest of that way. So, interesting way this game has developed, not the way we expected to.
Fox Chapel takes over from its own 21-yard line. Make that the 29, excuse me. But expect this to probably be the last offensive possession for Fox Chapel. Gizzo hands off to Villani, and Villani hit and spins forward down to the 33-yard line where it's 2nd down and 6 coming up for the Foxes. 1:48 to play. So we take a look at the upcoming schedule, the next 3 games for West Allegheny. Tough matchup next week at home, taking on the North Hills Indians, and then it travels to next-door neighbor Chartiers Valley in Bridgeville, take on the Colts in that game. And then for military night, it hosts Baldwin in week 4. Villani again up the middle, and he's brought down after a 1-yard gain to the 34-yard line. It's 3rd down and about 6. We're now just at 1:15 to play. Most of the backups are in for West Allegheny. Most of the starters sitting out and are going to have a tough test next week, and surely going to have some things to look over during practice this week. Gizzo with the quarterback keeper. He's brought down by Kyle Merritt at the 40-yard line. That's a 1st down for Fox Chapel at the 40. Now down to under 1 minute left, and West Allegheny's going to come out victorious. 41-20 is the score with 50 seconds left, unless Fox Chapel can score 3 touchdowns in 50 seconds. But Villani up the middle, and he's brought down to the 40-yard line again, making the stop. Isaac Longstreth, who's fired up about getting some considerable varsity time, and he's making the most of it as Longstrap's been pretty impressive at that linebacker position.
For Fox Chapel, they need to beat a top team in the Allegheny 9 if they want to make the playoffs. Last season, yeah, they had that 5-game winning streak, but as you've mentioned, they did not beat a single playoff team. So what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to beat a North Hills, a Woodland Hills, and Upper St. Clair, at least one of those teams to compete for a 4th or 3rd playoff spot.
Villani goes along the right-hand side, and he'll be brought down as he crosses first down yardage to the 46-yard line. The clock will stop. We'll see if Fox Chapel wants to run a play with 7 seconds left. And the clock will resume once the sticks get set. Looks like Tom Loughran is lining up the sideline right at midfield. And we may have one more play. And correction, that is the final play of the game. Nick Gizzo unable to get the snap off. And that's the final of week 1. West Allegheny, an impressive performance in the first half. A little bit of a lull in the second half, but ultimately the first half was just too much for Fox Chapel to overcome as the Indians victorious 41-20 over the Fox Chapel Foxes.
Yeah, obviously a lot to like. You see Will Weber, Mateo Van Damme, you had 2 guys who are getting more opportunities to show what they could do. Really impressive on the offensive end in the first half. 34-7, they outscored Fox Chapel in the first half. That speaks for itself. As you said, the second half, they were in a bit of a lull, aside from a few sparks here and there, primarily from Tyler Gallant. But kind of what we expected as far as West Allegheny having a lot to improve on. One of the trademarks of Bob Palco teams have been the progression in the season, in that how much noticeably better they are week 7 than they are week 1. And I think we'll start to see that as the season goes along, and they'll just have to get better every week, to borrow a coach cliche.
An intriguing first game for West Allegheny. An impressive first half gives the Indians a 41-20 victory. Next week it has a tough test hosting North Hills, and North Hills was really the only team in the regular season to give West Allegheny pretty much a big test. North Hills was winning most of that game last season, 16-3 at one point. West Allegheny scored 21 unanswered to escape Martirelli Stadium with a 24-16 victory. But now that it's a new season, West Allegheny looking to do what it did to North Hills really in the playoffs, which was dominate from beginning to end. And for Fox Chapel, at this point, you can look at the film as to what happened in the first half and just see if you can make any corrections, especially when you have to go to the Wolverina, or should I say George Novak Field at the Wolverina. And also look at what you did right. Fox Chapel had an impressive second half against West Allegheny, and really there's a lot of positives from both sides and a lot of cons to come out from this game. And it's going to be interesting to see where both teams end up come the final week of the season. But that's going to do it for us here on the West Allegheny Sports Network. Tune in next week when we have the North Hills Indians take on the West Allegheny Indians at Joe P. DiMichele Stadium with a 6:50 on-air time here on the West Allegheny Sports Network and a 7 o'clock kickoff. For Joe Smeltzer, I'm Brendan Ross saying so long for the West Allegheny Sports Network.